Hello and welcome to GBR. Fine today racing with the guys from the MRC in the GTTCC Season 20. This is round 8, the final round, the final 2 races of the season. As you can see, we are at High Speed Ring. It's a very glistening track. We've had rainfall. It dried up at the end of qualifying, but between qualifying and the start of the race it's rained again, so could be interesting for the beginning of this one. But putting it on pole after 15 minutes when the truck was drying up nicely is Judge in the Renault. In second place we have Infinity James in the Honda. In third place, here we go, coming into view, is JRC in the GTY Citroen. In fourth place we have Phil in the Lamborghini. In fifth place we have Raffo in another GTY Citroen. In sixth we have Brucey in the Genesis. In seventh place we have Midnight in the Sylvia, quite a fitting name for the weather conditions. In eighth place we have Bazza in another GT by Citroen. In ninth place we have Muffin Man, and you can't really see it, but he is in a GT by Citroen. And in 10th place, all you can see is the lights of a Porsche for Golden Brownie. That is your drivers for this evening's race. So let's get these guys underway. Jump to the front and see how they get on. 4 lights, 5 lights, 30 minutes racing at High Speed Ring, and away we go. Just there, he's got away. It looks like fairly well. JRC's right up behind him. Are they going to fan out? It looks like they might fan out into the long left-hander of turn 1. JRC up into first place, so that Citroen really working well off the line. But it looks like Brucey's had an absolute flyer up to second place at the moment. They're all fanning out through the exit of turn 1 up towards turn 2, the first braking zone on the track. As they come down, looks like Brucey all running out very wide. Hopefully no one's all riding. Brucey in second, Phil, Infinity James and Judge going 3 wide across the bridge. Who's going to come off best here? Looks like it's going to be Judge around the outside in these wet, tricky conditions. Going to be driving off the racing line to get the maximum grip, but Brucey's made his way up to first place now, ahead of JRC. 4-wheel drive helping him out there, get ahead of JRC. Looks like Phil's going to have a look at the inside of Judge as they come into the last corner. Now Judge just sweeps across his nose, cuts off that drive that Phil had going in. Phil looks like he's had a good exit there as they come across the start-finish straight for the first time. Brucey first, JRC second, Phil first, Judge fourth, James in fifth, Muffin Man up to 6th place, Bazza in 7th, Midnight in 8th, Raffo 9th and Golden in 10th place. Raffo going for a move on Midnight there on the inside as they come round the big banky boy of turn 1. But going up front, JRC's got back past Brucey, so he's used that slipstream by the looks of it and just slung back past. Phil's got ahead of Judge now as well. Brucey going for the inside line into turn 3. Is it going to make it work? Being on the racing line's a little bit slicker, but he's now going to be off the racing line and have more grip where the racing line's not so slick. They are side by side as they go into the tunnel. JRC's lost it and into the wall. Was there any contact between JRC and Brucey? Let's just jump on board. Sorry for the camera flicking. It's going to be hard to see. JRC does give Brucey a nudge. No, he just power on too early. for JRC as they come into the bridge. And that's going to drop JRC all the way to the back of the pack now. See if he can work his way back into the slipstream of the guys in front. But Brucey now, he's got Phil. So the two four-wheel drive cars at the front, which you would expect in the wet conditions, being able to get the power down on all four corners of the car. Judge there doing well in third place. He's got James right behind him now. They're going to be fighting as they come through turn one. Well, James goes to the high line. Really make that move work around the outside? I don't think he will. Judge, but he's going to be there as they come down towards turn two. Looks like James is going to use that extra drive and get back past. James goes into the wall, gets his braking a bit too late. And Judge then slips back through into third place. Muffman up to fifth place now. And looks like JRC has already caught up. No, that wasn't. That was Raffo just behind Golden Brownie. I saw a Citroen. Couldn't tell who it was. But these guys all line astern at the moment. Muffin Man in fifth place. I think he started in ninth, so he's done well to get up to there so far. Midnight in sixth place, just biding his time there. Just behind Muffin Man, Bazza behind Golden Brownie and Raffo. And then JRC, let's see what that time JRC does this time, to see if he is catching up to the guys in front. As you can see, just in a nice little line down the start finish straight. Looks like the rain's getting heavier as well now. So Raffo with 21.2 and JRC with a 20.2, so a whole second quicker at that time round. So hopefully another lap or two, JRC will be back with this pack. Midnight going on the outside of Muffin Man of turn one. He's made that move work. Up towards turn two. Get it a little bit into the wall on the braking, getting it all sliding as they're going in. But now Midnight's got a drive on James as they come across the bridge. But getting absolutely cornered there is Midnight. Looks like he ran it a little bit deep, but this rain is absolutely torrential. What you'd expect in Japan. Golden Brownie looks like he's gone off deep into the S's there. And who's that? That's Bazza in the background getting it all tail happy as they come into the tunnel. And Judge there, he's just been able to just put away a little bit there from James in third place. But at the front, Brucey there is a little bit of a lead over Phil at the moment. So the Genesis working a little bit better in this really wet conditions that we have got here at high speed ring. Just James in fourth, Muffin Man on the attack on Midnight. Across the line we go. Will he be able to stick it in there and make it work round the inside? Looks like he might be able to, but Muffin Man might have Midnight might have a drive coming out. Yes, he does. Midnight's been able to use that higher line just to carry more speed, but James has got into third place and Midnight's busy looking at the inside of Judge. No, he's just going to hold it there on the inside. So Muffin Man had a good drive coming out of there. He's now got ahead of Midnight as they come across the bridge again, and he's looking up for the inside of James, but James just cuts his nose off into the S's we go. So Judge has been caught. Obviously the Renault's not the fastest thing in the line, so obviously giving anyone a slipstream, it's just going to let him catch straight back up. But Judge seems to have the S's absolutely nailed in that Renault. But then obviously down the long start finish straight all the way to turn two, from here is just flat out, and you'll just see that gap close down between Judge. He's going to go defensive, he's gone to the left hand side, trying to just break that slipstream. Now he's going to go back to the racing line. Now everyone's following suit, just doesn't want to lose that slipstream. And the main straight, Muffin Man doesn't want that slipstream from James ahead, so he's going to be vulnerable from Midnight behind, who's going to go round the outside by the looks of it of Midnight. And as they're coming down, Bazza's there, doesn't know which way to go, he's just going to sit behind And wait, well, James, what's happened with James? He got it all a bit wrong coming into turn 2. Let's quickly jump on board with James. Puts the brakes on and the tail end just wants to get in front and ends up just hitting into the wall. Been able to slip in between Bazza and, as you can see, that is JRC on the left hand side now. So JRC's done well to catch up to this group and already battling through the pack. Up to 7th place now is JRC. So a great recovery drive at the moment in that Citroen. Now he's right behind Bazza as they're coming through the tunnel. And it looks like the weather has eased off now. I don't think we've got any more rain coming down. So it's just going to be a matter of time to see if there's any more coming, or if the track will dry up and people then decide going to the pit for a set of slick tyres. Bazza and JLC fighting. We've got 3 Citroens in, what was it, 5th, 6th and 7th place there as they're coming down the start finish line. But as you can see on the track, that Brucey and Phil absolutely checked out from this group there. They are just miles ahead from Judge in 3rd, no, Midnight now in 3rd as they're coming into turn 2 with Midnight on the lower line. Going to have to give room to Judge on the exit. I think there's a slight little tap there. Tricky conditions on exits of corners. You will end up slipping and sliding about, with JRC up to 4th place now. So really got into his groove and just carving his way through the pack is JRC. Josh there, is he going to have a look at JRC on the exit? No, he's not. He's just going to have to sit behind as they come through the tunnel for the 7th time already of asking. Absolutely flying through these laps, these guys. Nearly 10 minutes into the race. Obviously the high line is the quickest. Midnight getting it into the barrier. JRC goes up the inside and into 3rd place. Judge now looks like he's going to have a drive. No, he's not. JRC's going to do the start the snake down the start finish straight. Who have we got there in 6th? Bazza in 6th place, just behind Judge. He's looking this way and that. He's gone to the inside. He's got already past Judge, so the speed of that Citroen working in his favour to get past the Renault. It looks like James is behind Judge once again. These two don't, even though they've got other cars battling with them, they just seem to be stuck together so far in this race. Judge looks like he's going to have a look up the inside of Bazza into turn 3 and the start of the S's. No, he's getting it all sorts of sideways but not making any contact from Judge as they go through the left-hander now into the tunnel. Nothing man there. Oh, Raffo getting it all sorts of sideways into the tunnel. There might be a thing with that Citroen getting from the dry to the wet to the dry. Just losing traction. Golden Brownie in 9th and off the back of the pack at the moment. Muffin Man looks like he's just hanging on to the back end of James ahead. And we're going back down the start finish straight, sneaking down as we go. But a change for the lead has happened. Let's quickly jump back to see. I've missed that one with all the other battling. He's going into turn 1. Phil just got on the inside line of Brucey. Couldn't actually see the overtake happen from the camera. But Phil into 1st place. We'll jump back to where we were. So Phil's sat the fastest lap at the moment with 119.7. Brucey's a 120.7. Last lap round, his fastest is a 119.9. So only 2 tenths between them. But they're fastest laps, but absolutely miles ahead of, honestly not too far ahead now of JRC. These guys seem to be slowly catching up to that front 2. Bazza there, gone up the inside of Midnight into turn 3. Bazza into 4th place, having a good race so far is Bazza. And James has got past Judge, and he's now right on the rear end of Midnight. Looks like he's near enough pushing him round his corner. And into the final corner of the left-hand banky boy. Midnight into the wall again on this last corner. It's going to allow James to slide up through and Judge get past as well. But yeah, Judge has got in front of him as well, so we better grab James's slipstream as they're coming down the start-finish straight. Once again, use that miles off the back. Raffo's gone to the soft tyres, so I think it might be a bit early for the softs. It's getting close on that little weather radar, or weather meter I should say, on the bottom left hand by the tyres there. So I'd reckon another couple of laps and we could have a fast charging Raffo. But he is quite a way off the back at the moment, but back to the front of the pack we go. Phil there in first place in the Lambo. Looks like he's just pulling out a little bit of a gap over Brucey at the moment. What was the lap time? It was 5 tenths. The last couple of laps ahead was Phil, so yeah, he's probably pulled it to about a second. Riding that wall is Phil. That's going to really slow him down onto the start finish straight. Is that going to give Brucey a nice little drive as they come across the line? It is. Brucey's really caught that gap up. He's going to go to the inside. So this is going to be another change for the lead. Yeah, I think it will be. Yes, it is. Brucey up into first place, only just ahead of Phil, but he's on the low line, so he should be able to carry more speed. We'll be on the exit here. He'll be drifting up wide, cutting off Phil's nose, but Brucey now into first place, so Phil's fastest laps amount to nothing at the moment. He's gone to the inside through turn 2. Now they're side by side as they come across the bridge. Who's going to come out in front as they come into the S's? Looks like Brucey's going to hold off Phil. Yeah, he is, as they come through that right hander and then the left. And JRC there in third place with Bazzo right behind, and James not too far behind them either. Now we're all starting to spread out now a little bit. Muffin Man there, he's got Judge and Midnight right behind him. So Muffin Man's moved up to 6th place because he was behind them only I think a lap ago. So Judge and Midnight must have been fighting and allowed Muffin Man to creep up and get past them. As you can all see, they're all trying to find the wet stuff now, just trying to cool the tyres down where there was no more rain coming. But they're going to go fan out and going to go 3 wide into turn 1. Judge there in the middle in the sandwich. Looks like he's been passed by Midnight. Then Judge, where's he going to be able to get past Muffin Man? Muffin Man got a bit wide coming out of turn 1, got a bit snaky, and has not been able to recover that position back from Judge. So Midnight up to 6th place. Purple sector for Midnight. So with this drying track, they're all going to be going, dropping into the 119s, I believe. You can see the drying line there on the track, really showing where all the grip is. And Golden Brownie's been able to catch up to the back of these guys where they have been fighting as well. But Raffo, see the softs have worked for him now. Set the fastest lap of the race, 1:18.665, which I think Phil had the record before, 19.7. That was in the kind of damp-ish conditions, but Brucey's going for the overtake again. Oh no, sorry, it's Phil, wasn't it? Yeah, 19.2, sorry. It was the fastest lap in the damp conditions, so Brucey's been overtaken again by Phil on the last lap. don't know if Brucey got into the wall, but Bazza making a move on JRC as they come into turn 2. Slides it up just in front of JRC. No room given, but JRC's been able to get a good drive across the bridge and retain that third place from Bazza. But if Bazza can keep it round the outside, he'll have the inside line for the next corner. Bazza just going to drive round the outside. Didn't have to wait for the left hand to get in front of JRC. Incredible overtake there from Bazza. Should have gone in for overtake of the week, that one. And James there just watching from behind, just not wanting to get involved, keep his nose clean. And we've still got, what, 12.5 minutes left of this race. Let's straight away over to the wet hat side of the track. Left hand side, because that's where all the water is now, because you can see the difference between that drying line and the wet line. James pulls to the right hand side, trying to find all that water that he can. Midnight there just behind, trying to and Golden Brownie just absolutely drives around the outside of Judge. That's got a good drive out that last corner with a bit of slipstream. So Golden Brownie up to 7th, Judge 8th, Muffin Man in 9th, so not the best race so far for Judge. Good qualifying using the softs when the track was a bit like this at the end of qualifying. Raffo there gone even faster with 17.9, but the only downside about being on the softs is you touch a bit of that water and you will go spinning, and spinning for days. His lap time 17.9, Phil's done 18.6, so it's only about 7 tenths quicker being on the soft tyres than it is being on the intermediates. But Phil there not choosing to use the wet side of the track, staying, now he gets over there later on the straight, but Brucey's been over there near enough the whole straight. But it's like with doing so, with weaving down the straight, he's just lost a bit of time to Phil up ahead. Bazza in 3rd, JRC just behind him in 4th place. These three fighting for that last spot on the podium with just over 10 minutes left to go. I would not know who is going to get it. It could be anyone. It could even be Midnight, who is just up 3/4 of a second behind these guys, I would say, as they're coming into the S's. Bazza just defending off JRC and James there as they're coming in through. James going out wide and trying to square this corner off to get a decent drive into the tunnel and around this little right hand kink towards the last corner. And we go. Midnight has now caught that gap up, with these guys just having to give each other room through the S's. Now will Midnight have a drive out of that last corner down the start finish straight and see if he can make a move on James in front of him. It looks like that Sylvia has got the speed. He's definitely closing that gap up. Everyone's trying to find that wet part on the track. James pulls to the right hand side now. Midnight, is he going to go down the outside? It looks like he's going to try. No, but James has been able to carry that speed and put alongside JRC, and into 4th place goes James, and Midnight sat right behind, kind of got squashed in there, had nowhere to go. But Midnight's keeping it round the outside of JRC and made that move work. So James and Midnight move up a position, and now they're going to have a little go and see if they can get that 3rd spot from Bazza's grips at the moment, because he's firmly got it. With these guys fighting behind, but if they can work together and just let James try and fight Bazza, they might have another chance of getting that 3rd spot on the podium. They're going up front. Phil has been able to just pull away from Brucey in the last couple of laps. Bazza there for James in 4th, Midnight 5th, JRC in 6th, Muffin Man in 7th place. So he's moved back past Judge and Golden Brownie. So these three are swapping positions as well, but obviously the fight for that third spot on the podium is on. And looks like James is using that high line very effectively at the moment. He's got his weight round the outside of Bazza as they come down towards turn 2. And it's James into third spot now. And JRC's been able to get back past Midnight. It's probably the same move that Midnight done on him. He's reversed it and done it back on him a lap later. So now Bazza has got to fight hard to, because look at the tyres, they're all starting to burn up now where there's not much water on the track. Midnight there, he's fighting for that 5th spot with JRC there. Muffin Man's been able to put a little bit of a gap over Judge, and Golden Brownie's about the same distance, probably a little bit closer to Judge than Judge is to Muffin Man. We'll see how these guys get on down this straight, because the front 3. Oh, Bazza's got ahead of James. How did that happen? Did James hit the wall? Let's jump on with James. Yeah, he's just riding that wall, he's just slowing him down. And that's going to allow Bazza to just drive straight past him into third place, and probably going to keep on pulling away as they come down the start-finish straight. It's going to take James a little bit of time to get his car back up to speed. It looks like from Bazza's headlights that there's a bit more rain coming down on track. Let's jump on board. Yes, there is. There's definitely more rain coming in, so could this be what everyone wanted, with their tyres just getting a bit too hot and starting to wear out? But that's not going to be good for Raffo, because he's the one that's pitted for softs and had to, looks like he's had to come in the pit again. Yes, he has. So Raffo's coming to the pit. Golden Brownie's got ahead of Judge now. Muffin Man in 7th place, just skipping to the racing line, but these 3 now just dropped off the back of Bazza as the rain starts to come down. Looks like fairly heavy again, which is obviously great for these guys. JRC's on the wet tyres, I've just noticed. I think everyone else is on the intermediates, so JRC's done well to keep them tyres alive. They're not as bad, not that bad compared to some. I thought they'd be a lot worse, but James has really caught up to the back end of Bazza. I don't know if Bazza had a bad last corner, but as you can see on the wet meter on the bottom left, that drying line now is nearly in the wet area, so that rain has really come down fast to dry make this track nice and wet. Once again, James gets it all tail happy again into the 2nd corner, just trying to shake off the dirt. But now we're going to go 3 wide across the bridge in towards turn 3. Bazza's getting it all sorts of sideways, pulled out in front of James. I think that's Raffo, who's parked it on the outside of turn 3. But these guys now, JRC into 3rd place. Will he be able to drive away from Bazza? He's just been biding his time, waiting for a bit more water to come down to use them wet tyres to his advantage. James in 5th place, getting it very close to the wall. I don't know if there's a little tap there, but that's allowed Midnight to move up into 5th place. I'll go through quickly who the runners and the standings at the moment. So Phil in first, just cruising away from Brucey, who's got a nice healthy lead over JRC. Then it's Bazza, Midnight, James in 6th, Muffin Man in 7th, Judge in 8th, Golden Brownie. He's dropped back quite a bit from Judge. Yeah, lap 18, he had a 1:33. So he must have had an incident somewhere with this heavy rain. It looks like Rafo's retired to the pits. Obviously having that extra stop and being a lap down on everyone with only a couple of minutes left of the race to go. Looks like JRC has been able to just spread this field out. Or these four anyway, just been able to pull away from Buzzer, Midnight and James. So it looks like it's potentially going to be a battle for 5th place now between Midnight and James as they come into the last 3 minutes. So I'm going to say they'll probably get another 2 laps. Phil might get another extra lap on top. We shall see when the checkered flag falls at the half-hour mark. Is that... No, I thought they were coming into the pit then. They're just trying to find the wet part on the track now because that rain has stopped. It was only a very short shower, but the drying line is starting to come back a little bit. Judge there in 8th. Let's just jump to see. Yeah, we've got Midnight and James still fighting for that 5th place. It's the only kind of fight on track at the moment, so we'll stick with these guys. See what happens for this 5th spot. But Midnight just been able to hold off James at the moment. But one little we've got to do is brake a little bit later, or not turn in as much and drift out wide, and just give that car behind a sliver of a chance to try and get past. But it looks like Midnight had a good S's section there and been able to pull a gap over James through them couple of corners, and maybe the tyre wear. No, James's tyre wear is a lot better than Midnight's front right, so James just might have had a little mistake there. Through the S's. Buzzer there in 4th, JSC in 3rd place. Looks like he's been able to just watch his lap time. Got caught by a 10th on the last lap round, but it was a lap before where he, or a couple of laps before where he really spread the field out from these 4. So it's just them wet tyres probably just helped him out there. But now it stopped raining, he's going to have to really find the wet stuff to keep them tyres nice and cool and give him all the grip he wants, because as they start getting hot they end up starting sliding around and he'll end up having little mistakes. Brucey's tyre is nice and good, so is Phil, so yeah, no one's really burnt through their tyres probably as much as JRC, and it looks like he's starting to struggle through the S's there. He has been caught a little bit by Bazza. Will they get another lap? That is the question. We'll jump with Phil. Phil's definitely going to get another lap. He's going across with 25 seconds to go. Brucey should get another lap as well. Yeah, he's gone with 20 seconds. There's about 5 seconds between them two. And another 7 seconds. So these guys all get through. Well, Muffin Man get across the line. Looks like he will as well. Same as Judge. Judge is going to be close. Judge is going to cross the line with just 1 second to go. But Golden Brownie won't get across the line, so he'll finish in 9th place with a pretty worn out front left tyre. JRC, he's getting on. He's still under threat now from Bazza. Them tyres starting to show now for JRC. And will Bazza try anything? Or will he just try for the drive out of the last corner to get past JRC and just nip that 3rd place from him? He is mighty fine, is Bazza. It's looking really good for him, but we'll see as we've got 2 more corners to go. We'll have to jump to the leader in a second. Here he is Phil as he comes down towards the finish line to win race 1 for round 8. Brucey will come across to finish in 2nd place. A great result there for Brucey. JRC's just been able to hold off Bazza for that 3rd spot. Bazza in 4th, Midnight in 5th, James in 6th place. Muffin Man will finish in 7th place and Judge in 8th place. Thank you all so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, hit that like button, maybe consider subscribing, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.